you, Tim. Welcome to what we hope will be the last 40 days for life. Prayer Vigil in Catonsville.
All right.
I'm Ann Boland. I'm a late bloomer to the pro-life efforts. I see a lot of you in this crowd that have been praying for 30 years and more, so thank you for educating people like me only a few years ago. Who here has never prayed outside an abortion facility before? Who here is new to 40 Days for Life? You're not alone. 1/3 of the people during any of these 40 Days for Life campaigns, like me, comes in fear and trembling, having never prayed outside an abortion facility before. What is 40 Days for Life, and why is it so successful? 40 Days for Life is just what it sounds like, 40 days, because God has always used 40 days in the Bible throughout history to make change. It's 40 days, three things: prayer and fasting, prayerful vigil presence, physical presence here, not just in our homes, and community outreach. Why prayer and fasting? You guys can fill this in for me, because some demons can only be driven out by prayer and fasting. Why public? Why public prayerful presence? Well, because abortions happen on the 6th floor of that building. They do not happen in Congress. They do not perform abortions at the Supreme Court. They do not perform abortions in the White House. They perform them right here in our community, in our neighborhood. Sometimes a mother will tell us, when I saw you praying, I could not go through with it. Sadly, sometimes a mother will tell us, I wish you had been here last week. Why community outreach? Because it's our community. Bottom line though, why is 40 Days successful? Because it's God's will, not ours. We have all aborted God's will in our lives. And bad news and good news. Let's get the bad news out of the way. This year is the 40th anniversary of Roe versus Wade, which we all know with its companion ruling made abortion legal for any reason at any time for all 9 months of the pregnancy. As we know, abortion may be legal, it's neither safe nor rare. Abortion has become the leading cause of death in our nation and worldwide, ending the lives of more than 42 million children each year around the world, and a total of 55 million here in the U.S. alone. Tim and I estimate, based on past experiences, that 38,000 to 50,000 children have died on the 6th floor. 38,000 if you're very conservative and assume abortion didn't grow, 50,000 if you use the same growth rates. Half of those children, more than half of those children are African American. And we're thrilled to have such a strong turnout. The fastest growing segment of our prayer campaign are African Americans, because they know that although African Americans are only 12% of the population, they're 36% of the abortions. As the last piece of local news, as you guys know, is that the state of Maryland is one of the most pro-abortion states in the country. We always get an A+ rating or an A rating from the National Abortion Rights Action League for our permissive laws. My daughter, thank you for coming, call, cannot get a Tylenol from the school nurse, but she can go have an abortion with her guidance counselor without my knowledge. Abortionists are basically litigation free. There's no restrictions at all. The abortion clinics are not regulated. And sadly, one of the few abortionists that will do late-term abortions from Nebraska flies in here every Sunday to start late-term abortions in Germantown, Maryland. And this week, a 29-year-old woman, 33 weeks pregnant, died. Her family had flown in, were at the hotel. They could not reach Dr. Leroy Carhart. Nowhere to be found. All right, that's the bad news. What's the good news? Some of you were on the March for Life last month. EWTN paid an independent company to count the number of marchers. The media reported 50,000 to 100,000 if they reported on it at all. 650,000 people were marching on our nation's capital in support of life. Did anybody see? This is my favorite one. Did anybody see this? The cover of Time magazine? Did you ever think you would see abortion on the cover of Time magazine?
Hey.
Hang on, January 14th. Thank you. And so the good news is it's even making it in the secular media. And the best part is the title of the article is, "What Choice? Abortion Rights Activists Won an Epic Victory in Roe v. Wade in 1973, and they've been losing ever since." They've been losing because in 2011, right after 2011, abortion regulating laws passed in 24 states. Laws requiring, believe it or not, that abortion doctors have admitting privileges in a local hospital where they're doing abortions. It's not required in most states, and definitely not here. Carhart who flies in from Nebraska cannot take a woman to a hospital. He has no admitting privileges. In 1982, there were 2,980 providers in the U.S. In 1991, there were 2,176. In 2008, there were 1,793. And today, there are only 655 abortion facilities. There are over 2,500 crisis pregnancy centers. And beginning with 1 hour of prayer in 2004, 40 Days for Life was launched, and now over 500,000 people of faith and conscience, representing over 20,000 different church congregations, over 6,750 babies have been saved. Double that number, their parents have been double that number, and you have the number of mothers and fathers who've been spared a lifetime of regret for a decision they can never undo. Countless men and women who have been hurt by abortion have found healing, recovery, and hope. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm littering. And 76 abortion workers have quit their jobs, including an LPN from Hillcrest who came to us and begged us to help her find a better job, and we did. Finally, 27 abortion facilities have shut down following 40 days campaigns, prayer vigils, and let's make Hillcrest number 28.
Amen. Thanks so much, Ann. Now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Father Terry Sweeney, who is the pastor at St. Timothy's Episcopal Church. Many of us heard him speak 2 years ago. We wanted to hear it again.